Hey everyone, it's already January and there's so many movies coming out I'm interested in. It's like, man, this year's already starting to be an exciting one for us cinema lovers. So what movie should I see next? I just saw the Scary Monkey film, so what should I see next? There's options out there. I got time to waste, gotta find a good movie to check out. Can't go in order too much because it depends on what films I want to see, what films other people I go to movies with want to see. So yeah, just got to pick one that I'm either able to see with someone or just see in my own regard. Oh, here's a nice one. A science fiction movie with Chris Pratt. Because I'm one of those white guys who just watches movies automatically because they have Chris Pratt in them. I mean, he is a good actor. He's a typecast, obviously, but in general, his acting has been pretty good. I mean, we all know him in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He did pretty great in those, and he's pretty great in I don't want to say Mario because that was a pretty hilarious thing to laugh at. Overall, he's a good actor, okay? There has been a lot of good movies he's been in. He's not one of the best actors of all time. I'm not that kind of white person. But I do think his acting works nicely. It's fine. You know, when he does get casted rightly in a role, he does it pretty well. So now let's take a look at his newest film, a science fiction adventure focusing on the one thing every sci-fi movie wants to tackle nowadays. You know what it is. That is the main thing that is going to be tackled in any science movie, fiction movie to come out these days. Because, truth be told, that's probably the best thing to do for a movie that you want to make futuristic. Because that's what we all see as a futuristic thing now. So yeah, anytime someone wants to make a science fiction movie, just make that the focus. And so now we have it in this movie, Mercy. Please have mercy. This is good. That was too easy. This movie focuses on AI in a new sort of way, while at the same time going with a plot that we have seen before a couple times. Still, I am into sci-fi movies. You know, I'm into those movies that like to shun AI for being stupid. Yeah, go do that, please. I'm not gonna be one of those guys who says, "Let's have AI just take my job." I'm not getting part in anything political or real life topic. I'm not trying to focus on real life topics. I'm just saying I like those movies that treat AI as a dangerous threat because in a way that is what I like to think of it as. Anyway, wanted to see this movie, so I did see it. And I don't know how many more people are going to want to see it. So is this a very necessary review since probably not many people are going to care about it? We'll see. So like I said, this movie does tackle AI in a new way, while at the same time going with a story that we've seen many times before. What's this movie about? You know how corrupt our justice system is? Well, imagine if we were in this universe where our entire justice system is run by AI. Imagine a world where any criminal who is pronounced guilty is handled by AI agent or whatever. It's handled by AI police, AI judges, AI jury, all that. The entire courtroom is just a big room of AI video, and they have time to detect you. And if you are pronounced guilty at the end, you're just killed. They'll just kill you like that. And apparently, this is a new system that literally is called Mercy. That's why the movie is called Mercy, because that's the name of the system. Can't just be called that because that's what people say. We always say, Lord have mercy when we're about to get killed. Do you really have to make that the name of the of the corporation? Like seriously? I don't know. It's like I don't know, trying to think of a movie that uses an adjective as a title. It's like in Scream. It's like if Scream was the name of the guy who kills people. Imagine if Ghostface was named Scream. That's why they call it that. I'm gonna kill you. Who are you? I am Scream. Imagine if it was called Scream because that's what the name of the killer was. It wasn't Ghostface. His name is Scream. Or even more ridiculous, his name is Scary Movie because that was the working title. Well, not. But anyway, yeah, they call it Mercy because why not? And Chris Pratt plays one of the police detectives who approved of this new justice system. Apparently, he wakes up and finds himself trapped as as a new criminal who's being charged with the murder of his wife. He claims not guilty, but the AI judge is like, we have so much proof that you did it. Basically, we have what is the movie The Fugitive, with Harrison Ford, if it was ruined by AI. I keep getting recommended those videos. I don't like it, but all these YouTube videos that take famous movies and say they're ruined by AI by putting AI in them, I hate being recommended so many of those. But that's kind of what this is. The Fugitive, but it's ruined by AI. And really is. Now, the plot doesn't run entirely similar to The Fugitive. It's not about him escaping and having to hide away from the public, from the police and whatnot. But it is a similar premise. A guy accused of killing his wife. Wow, I've seen that before. Anyway, he's the whole movie. He's just strapped to that chair, having to prove his innocence, as the AI judge just shows off a bunch of stuff that they were able to detect, including him arguing with his wife, him drinking at a bar, his sister being a emo influencer on Instagram or whatever. He's just looking for all that, like, oh come on, it's just coincidence. What? So I yelled at my wife. What? What? So I punched the guy at a bar. Oh no, that's just coincidence. Okay, I'm a nice person. No joke. They literally show those things happening in place, and they're taken so out of context that I feel like the movie was trying to do that thing where it surprises us, like, aha, he really was the killer. So you thought that he was actually telling the truth, but no, he really was the killer. So they just throw in those elements of him being a bad person, so maybe that the twist can make sense in a way. I don't know. But yeah, they throw in every plot detail or like every detail that the AI judge shows him out of context. They don't really give an order to these things. It just shows them out of order, and we're supposed to understand it. I know movies can make success by going out of order. I mean, cough cough, Pulp Fiction. But in this case, I just feel like they went too out of order. Anyway, we learn there's more people that he has to contact. There's his daughter who witnessed the murder, but she isn't able to figure out who did it. There's all these other people in the police force that he's friends with that he has to try and ask for help with. And I pretty much from there, that's all I can really say to the plot. How does the movie go for its ending? Well, apparently one dude who was part of their old friend group. I guess he was like a friend or whatever. I kind of got lost in the middle of the movie, not gonna lie. I was kind of just too focused on did he do it or did he not do it. We learned who did do it, and when we find that out, he takes his daughter, he steals a truck, and he crashes through cars, and drives his way into the AI judge courtroom, crashes into it, and then Chris Pratt finally escapes his chair. He tries to salvage. He tries to negotiate with him about having to kill anybody, but then it just ends with him getting shot anyway. So that went to nothing. Chris reunites with his daughter. Stuff he knows. I'm sorry, it's cold out there. Anyway, yeah, he reunites with his daughter. They go home. Everything's settled, sort of. They announced that the AI system is not being removed. So that was a big disappointment, wasn't it? We all thought that this movie would end with AI being canceled. But no, it just ends with Chris Pratt literally saying, everyone, including AI, makes mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. I get what the movie's doing. I'm not going to be mad at it for that. But I do think that if this movie's going to go out of its way to say AI should perfectly be fine as a part of our community, maybe this movie will have protests. It shouldn't. It's just a movie. I'm just saying. I live in a world where my beliefs are hard to accept for others. I'll accept this movie for what it does. That ending plot did make sense. I guess I can't be mad at it. I guess I can be happy with it for actually going new with it instead of it just being like AI bad. And it actually did try to salvage some more stuff to it. Still, that doesn't mean I like the plot. I feel like they rushed too much. I'm glad it was a short movie, but still, a lot of the scenes were out of place. The whole story was going out of place. Kind of rushed into things that they shouldn't. Like things that should have been settled shorter ended up not short. I mean, let me say this right. Things that should have been longer ended up being super rushed. And things that should have been rushed end up happening longer than they should. That's a problem with movies that I feel that are rushed. They don't rush the things that should be rushed. And that's where I think this movie falls in. I think some elements were kind of stupid. Like, for example, the idea of calling the justice system mercy to go with the film's title was hilariously dumb, in my opinion. And honestly, I just feel like that this plot kind of ran maybe done better. I feel like the idea of him being strapped to the chair during the whole movie, and we kind of get a glimpse of all the details to his murder, that sounds like a great movie. But they kind of mix things too much. They kind of go out of place all the time, and by the time we got to the twist, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it as much. So yeah, my opinion on the plot, it's not good, really. It's not awful plot, but I really thought it would be better. So let's go over the three genres this movie's mostly tackling. Those being action, mystery, and sci-fi. Those are the three main elements for this movie's plot. How are they displayed? Well, this movie's action, Chris Pratt punches a guy at a bar. That was pretty cool. We don't actually get to see much of the wife being murdered. This movie does have to keep its PG-13 rating or whatever. So that was a disappointment. By the end, there's more action. We see a giant truck drive through cars. A bunch of cars collide and crash. That was fun to watch. At one point during the middle of the movie, this other cop is rammed in by a car. That was a quick death. There was a little bit of gun violence at the end of the film, but not enough to look violent enough. So that's what I think of the action in this movie. It's PG-13, but at the same time, they kind of disappoint that by showing stuff without actually showing it. The truck crashing into the court building was pretty cool, I'll say, but that was probably the only thing in this movie I thought was cool. Everything else was just kind of basic action stuff, punching people, showing deaths without actually showing them, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be expecting so much violence in what's supposed to be PG-13 rated. I'm just saying, you could have maybe expanded more on what violence you could get away with, other than just that car chase. But then again, I'll say the movie didn't, I guess, work fine when it did have that car thing going on. And even if the action wasn't great, I guess I can still say it's decent enough. I'm at least glad it looked real. Like, I'm glad that in a movie literally centered around AI, they actually made the action look real this time. Let's be God, hope most of it was real. Imagine if they used AI in the action in this movie. That'd be ironic, wouldn't it? Okay, enough of that. So yeah, my thoughts on the action in this movie was, it was decent action. But what about its mystery? Well, like I previously mentioned, the movie's mystery falls flat when we go from, it's mostly just Chris Pratt trying to confess that he didn't do it, but the AI judge is like, we have so many things that say you did do it. And he's like, no, those are just coincidences. That's kind of what it is. They don't really do much on the mystery of who did murder him. Like, they do go through suspects and such, but we don't really get enough clues from these people from the own vision of the movie to really believe it ourselves. We mostly just have to focus on what they're saying without really introducing us to these characters. So by the end, when we got the review, I wasn't really struck. I was just like, oh, that guy. Okay. I mean, he already looked like he was a murderer, so I feel like for some people that wasn't much of a twist. For me, I was more of a, oh. It wasn't really much of a, oh my God. So yeah, I didn't really feel that. I felt underwhelmed when they revealed the mystery. I didn't hate the mystery, but I just wasn't invested enough as to who killed it as much as I was if he was the one who killed it or not. I feel like that's kind of where I was too focused on. Because this whole movie tried to make it seem like it was going to go back and forth with that. It made it seem like they were telling us that he didn't do it while also hiding the fact that he actually did do it. You know, that's something the movie could do. But they didn't do it. No, they revealed that it actually wasn't him. Because, of course, Chris Pratt's a nice guy. He wouldn't kill anybody. But yeah, that's what they do with the movie's mystery. I didn't hate it, again, but it just really wasn't much of a mystery for me as much as it was more of a, okay, so it wasn't him. Alright, so sci-fi. Well, any sci-fi movie that centers around AI is either amazing or super forgettable. Where does this movie fall in? Probably neither. Okay, maybe I went too far on that. There are movies that have AI as their plot, and they don't come across as either awful or amazing. They can just be plain average. And that's what I thought of sci-fi in this movie. The idea of an AI justice system was interesting until they got too far with it. I feel like they kind of mixed up the rules here and there. They set up the rules of what this system was supposed to be, but then as the film went on, they kind of just forgot about them and just showed off whatever nonsense they could, saying that AI can do anything. It can stalk you. It can do this. Oh, it can do that. Oh, this can happen. Okay, so it is flawed. It kind of mix it with that. And I really don't know much more I can say about the sci-fi in this movie, as much as it's mostly just giving us the rules of what this new system is, but then adding new ones as they go on. Movies do that, and sometimes I'm not a big fan of it. And that's kind of where I am with this movie. Creates its sci-fi in a way where we get the rules at first, but then we continue the story and we just kind of get lost in what is going on again. Yeah, that's kind of where I fall in with this movie. So overall, my thoughts on Mercy is that it's not abysmal. It's not up there as one. It's not something I probably would end off being called one of the worst movies of the year. But then again, we just started. I can't say that quickly. All I can say is that it wasn't good, nor was it awful. It was a 5 out of 10. I give Mercy a 5 out of 10 for being a nice plot, not executed the best way. It's a plot that would have been great, but they didn't execute it nicely enough, so it just came off as less of an excitement as I feel like it could have been. So yeah, sci-fi fans, you're allowed to skip this one if you want. I can understand why most people would skip this one or why most people wouldn't care too much about the review. But then again, it is an action movie with Chris Pratt in it, so maybe more people will see it. Who knows? All I know is that to me, it wasn't really anything that good. And it just didn't hit really well. Not that good of a movie. It's not a bad movie. Not really a movie that I would call abysmal in terms of other sci-fi films. But if you're not in any need to see this movie, you don't have to worry about seeing it. It's fine. There's lots of other movies coming out I really need to see, so I'll be sad if I miss a bunch of movies and end up having this be the one film I decided to go see instead. Boy, would that upset me.